Happy Tuesday! This is your Tuesday training on strategies for getting loved ones to support your healthy lifestyle. The beginning of a nutrition or exercise program can be challenging, but getting loved ones to support your healthy lifestyle changes is another story. The company you keep does affect your progress towards healthy living. So today I'm going to give you 3 strategies on how to reduce peer pressure and get the social support that you need. We know that your environment impacts your ability to consistently make healthy lifestyle changes. If your home is full of processed and junk food and there are no vegetables in your home, you aren't going to consume vegetables. Clearly, they're not available. But if you are someone who has been working hard to change your habits, but everyone else in your household keeps trying to derail you from that progress, you may feel isolated and alone in your own environment. So the people around you do matter. You are the sum of your social circle, and time again, research has shown us that we are affected by the body composition habits and the lifestyle of those around us. So the more people around us that are doing something different or living a certain way, or the more likely we are to do and live the same, whether it's what we eat, how we eat, whether we move or not, how we move, and so on. So if your friends and family are fitter and healthier, you're more likely to be fitter and healthier, and the reverse is also true. We often change our habits to match those of our social group without talking or even thinking about it. It's just part of human connection. And it's not just to show how you eat and move, of course. Research also indicates that you're influenced by family and friends for other big deal game changers, like whether to get married or when to have a baby. But why does it work this way? Why can't you be a lone wolf or a unique individual? Well, in some ways, social influence is a good thing because we evolve from small groups who depend upon one another for survival. Much of our brain is devoted specifically to social cues and communication, recognizing faces, reading emotions, making and understanding language. And we depended on social cohesion, on belonging to survive. So to be alone, whether abandoned or rejected or left behind, often meant death. So today, modern medicine shows us that loneliness can still kill. Our bodies respond to social rejection and isolation as if they were viral threats. When we are persistently alone, inflammation goes up, immunity goes down, we get more chronic diseases, and we die sooner. So aloneness is scary, vulnerable, and difficult. But aloneness can really be real, like the actual aloneness of a young woman who chooses to stay in to eat healthier dinner and get a good night's sleep when all her roommates have gone out for pizza and partying. Story of my life. Just kidding. Okay, aloneness can also be a feeling like the way a guy feels when all his buddies are drinking beer and he's got a seltzer. If you're the only one at happy hour ordering a side salad instead of fries, it's basically like you're outside the campfire circle of social safety, just waiting for the lions to attack your tender, undefined flesh. Thus, protecting ourselves against aloneness is in our DNA. It's innate. So swimming against the current can be hard. Of course, it is possible, though, to go in it alone. Terms like the pioneer or the trailblazer exist. But let's face it, it's a lot easier to eat better and get more exercise when your social environment and the behavior of your family and friends supports your goals. So as with all things, the laws of physics comes into play. When you're trying to change, you may encounter either friction or momentum. Even if your loved ones aren't super enthusiastic about your nutrition and fitness experiments or will never love roasted Brussels sprouts like you do, it doesn't mean that they don't care or they won't help. You can pursue your goals in the face of wavering or stingy support. You don't have to dump all your friends and your family. Okay, so let's get that straight. Most importantly, you may not even have to try to convince anyone in order to get them on board with you. It's also incredibly empowering and inspiring to be the leader for change despite the forces against you. So think about that too. But here's an important tip. You don't reduce friction by pushing back. A powerful, healthy lifestyle pioneer is a peaceful one. So try these 3 crucial strategies for getting friends and family to support your healthy lifestyle. First, accept that you may not be right. Step back and embrace some hard truths. How much of the friction that you feel from others is actually created by you internally? Even if you mean well, and even if you're absolutely 100% correct, yes, smoking is bad, yes, vegetables are good, How often have you been judgmental, inconsistent, preachy, self-righteous, dismissive, overenthusiastic, maybe even a bit culty? So what we really want to look at, conversely here, is how often have you been curious? So the opposite. How often have you been interested in others' perspectives, able to deal with diversity and tolerate various viewpoints, be open-minded, empathetic, compassionate, a good listener? So consider this. Maybe right isn't so obvious. All behaviors and choices have a reason to be there. You might not know the reasons, you might not quite understand the reasons, or even agree with some of the reasons. But whatever habits your loved ones are practicing, they are doing them for a reason. In some way, their habits are right for them. They may have only a limited toolbox of options or coping skills. This means really understanding that, for example, your brother feels panicked and crushed under work stress and sees drinking as a way to cope with stress. Or having compassion for your friend who is terrified to confront her body and therefore gets defensive and critical every time you bring up your new healthy regimen. So it's self-consciousness here. When we focus on defending our rightness and proving our loved ones wrong, our perspective becomes very narrow and our relationships become oppositional. So however, when we let go of judgment and choose compassion and empathy, we make room for understanding. Understanding dissolves conflict because it usually shows us that at our core, we are all dealing with the same themes. We're more alike than different. Understanding helps us collaborate instead of clash, connect instead of criticize. And we start to ask the questions like, instead of inducing blame and shame, we invite connection and support. Why are they so different from me becomes, when have I dealt with something similar? How can I get them to stop that bad habit becomes, what problem is the bad habit trying to solve? What is wrong with them becomes, what might they really need? As your loved ones begin to feel more understood and less judged, they may begin to practice more flexibility and less judgment towards your new habits and beliefs too. And by the way, it'll serve you immensely to practice non-judgmental compassion and understanding on yourself too. Second tip, be persistent, not pushy. Resistance more often comes from fear than from true physiological opposition. Change can feel scary. It can bring up issues of control, security, identity, and can also bring up painful emotions like anxiety, panic, shame, or loss when your loved one resists change in all the creative ways that they can come up with, consciously or unconsciously, kindly or unkindly. What they might actually be feeling underneath it all is fear. Their fear can be the result of thoughts like, what if you become a different person? What if this new food tastes gross? What if your healthy habits make me confront my unhealthy habits? What if people don't accept us? What if you judge me or don't love me anymore? What if I can't keep up with you? What if life gets uncomfortable? What if I lose you? Just like a scared child, resistance and fear in their adult forms don't respond well to rational arguments and pushing. So while you must press forward with the changes that you're trying to make for your own health and well-being, you'll more likely get support if you practice persistence rather than pushiness. Pushiness means attempting to force friends and family to join you and agree with you, accept only a rigid set of compliant responses. So persistence means continuously offering opportunities, on the other hand, for your friends and family to join you on your quest to a healthier life, and yet remains open to a wide range of responses to any given invitation. So be persistent, keep offering healthy dishes at the dinner table, keep inviting your friends and family to join you on runs, hikes, and exercise classes, keep having conversations about nutrition and healthy body image, and what it means to have a truly good, capable life. Prioritize positivity and connection, and when you present these options and expect resistance, sometimes over and over and over again, and as much as you can, take the drama and emotional and charge out of these conversations, validate your loved one's reasons for staying the way they are, staying the same, and don't push back. Perhaps when their fear subsides and they realize it's safe to dip their toes in the land of green smoothies and box jumps, your loved ones will join you and you'll ride off into the sunset on your recumbent bikes, drinking coconut water together. Tip number 3, just do you. Change is difficult. We know this. Change is hard. But in order to overcome the many bumps, blocks, and blusters inherent to significant lifestyle change, we need to be anchored to a deep, internal, personalized why that will pull us through. You can't manufacture this type of motivation for someone else. You just can't. And no matter how hard you try to coerce your kids, your spouse, your parents, your friends to change, they may have none of it. And in fact, that may be a good sign, because that means that they know that in order to make the kinds of changes you're making, they have to want it too. We call this intrinsic motivation, where one's own internal reasons for doing something. So research shows that intrinsic motivation leads to change that is longer lasting and more self-sustaining than extrinsic motivation, doing it for someone else, which is based on the desire to obtain outcomes, from the approval of others. Intrinsic motivation requires deep thought and reflection and may take longer to develop. So respect that your loved ones may take time to connect to their own reasons for eating and moving better. Meanwhile, just do you. Focus on your intrinsic motivations. Stay connected to what's driving you deep inside to make these personal changes. Why does it matter to you? Without ignoring your natural love and concern for your loved ones, let your attention turn inward. Spend more energy on your own growth and development, which could lead to something else amazing. And think about how you feel when you watch someone you love work towards a big goal with heartfelt determination, grit, and bravery. And also think about how you feel when you watch that person persist despite setbacks, failures, and fears. You feel proud of them. Think about how you feel when you watch that person triumph, however messy it is and imperfect, over adversity. You feel inspired. You feel like anything is possible. You feel like maybe you could do something great too. And that is the beautiful irony in doing you. By working towards and achieving a healthier, happier, more confident, and capable version of yourself, you become that inspiration, that positive influence to your family and friends. And it all comes full circle when that little healthy lifestyle wave you started attracts other riders, builds, and then becomes a huge tidal of momentum to carry you to your final objective, a fit, healthy you. Influence happens in both directions. Also remember that. So lead the way. And at Move Fully Nourished, we help our one-on-one coaching clients create approach goals. What is an approach goal? Approach goal such as try 2 new vegetables this week, or eat 3 different colors of plants today, or do something that gets you out of breath for 20 minutes, are more likely to help make people feel expansive, creative, interested, and willing. And approach goals can help make the process of change more harmonious, positive, and even fun for you and your family. So we support our clients outside of their social bubble and help our clients see beyond their environment for what kind of change is possible. We at Move Fully Nourished provide an objective perspective and function at times as a sounding board, a voice of reason, and a resource for practical ideas and inspiration, a source of momentum. We also provide our clients with accountability, which is especially important if you are the lifestyle trailblazer in your social circle, because small moments of support can make a huge difference when you're trying to move away from friction and towards momentum. This has been your Tuesday training for this Tuesday. I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day. Make it a great one.